right now on 18 Eyewitness News.
And I'll let you know if there's going to be any thunderstorms on your Friday.
Gay activists are moving on after Wednesday's Supreme Court rulings. A Wednesday afternoon accident sends a motorist to the hospital. Plus, summertime heat is here. How to stay cool during the summer. 18 Eyewitness News starts right now.
18 Eyewitness News starts now.
Gay activists say Wednesday's Supreme Court rulings are just the beginning. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Fred Dawkins. Our top story on 18 Eyewitness News, America's High Court struck down part of the Defensive Marriage Act and refused to weigh in on California's Proposition 8, clearing that state for gay marriage. But the court did not make same-sex marriage a fundamental right. And that's where the battle is far from over. Paul Strand reports.
Gay individuals and groups, as well as their lawyers who fought against DOMA and Proposition 8, now say the next step is to battle nationwide for legalized same-sex marriage everywhere.
We cannot forget our LGBT brothers and sisters that are in states that still discriminate against them, and we will not allow it.
Within 5 years, we will bring marriage equality to all 50 states in this vast country.
With marriage equality back in California, 40% of the population of the United States is covered by marriage equality.
The lawyers battling Proposition 8 say it's effectively dead because the justices ruled those defending it had no standing to defend it.
They said the proponents have no concrete injury. They cannot point to anything that harms them because these two loving couples and couples like them throughout California are now going to be able to get married.
Those on the other side weren't necessarily admitting defeat on Prop 8. They say at most the High Court has thrown California and gay marriage into somewhat of a legal limbo.
We remain committed to the continued enforcement of Proposition 8 until there is a statewide order saying otherwise.
Even as it wiped DOMA out, the court specifically did not say states have to legalize gay marriage. But its two rulings are big boosts to the gay marriage momentum. Supporters of traditional marriage certainly have a beef with what the Supreme Court has done here. They're saying, how can 5 justices decide these crucial questions about marriage when the voters and the legislators in 38 states have decided differently? One of the biggest problems with gay marriage is that in most states where it's become legal, Christians who stand up too clearly for traditional marriage end up getting bashed, sometimes sued. Could that now happen nationwide with DOMA's defeat, especially with the way the justices denigrated opponents of gay marriage?
Now that the majority said that laws defining marriage between one man and one woman are not supported by any rational basis, that they are driven by either ignorance or hostility, I fear that we're going to see a flood of lawsuits where that'll be the lead for the plaintiffs right out at the gate.
Reverend Rob Schenck says believers need to get ready.
The script has already been written. Christians are angry, mean, bigoted, narrow-minded, ugly people. That's the stereotype. I think we have to do what we can to defeat that stereotype.
All sides on this issue say what the court has done here is important, but it certainly does not decide the question of gay marriage for all of America.
Proposition 8 supporters say they will continue to fight for traditional marriage. They argue another issue is at stake. The court ignored the will of the people. That's a dangerous event for any democracy. Efren Graham has the story.
Same-sex marriage is essentially legal now in California, and the media is ablaze with celebrating supporters. But backers of Proposition 8 say the Supreme Court has set a dangerous precedent where the will of the voters no longer matters.
The decision of marriage should be left to the people. When the people validly enact a law to limit marriage to one man and one woman, it should be the people who decide whether that law should be reversed.
My initial reaction was, it's a new kind of tyranny. It's where the courts advocate social justice over social structure and social traditions and standards.
Even Justice Kennedy, who voted to strike down DOMA, sided with California voters who approved Prop 8, stating, quote, "The essence of democracy is that the right to make law rests in the people and flows to the government, not the other way around. The California initiative process embodies these principles and has done so for over a century."
If someone doesn't like a proposition that's passed in the state of California, arguably all they would have to do is find one judge, one federal judge, to declare it unconstitutional, and then get a wink and a nod from the Attorney General and the governor, and it's over. And I think that's a terrible, terrible situation to have for the voters to have their votes count and to have their votes respected in the proper system.
It will take at least 25 days before the Supreme Court's ruling becomes official and gay marriages resume in California. If supporters of Proposition 8 ask for a rehearing, then gay marriages may still be barred beyond the 25-day period.
And joining us now from Washington, D.C. in our bureau is Thomas Peters of the National Organization for Marriage. Thomas, what does the DOMA ruling mean for the states, especially for those that have voted to defend traditional marriage?
Well, first of all, we have to understand that it was a split ruling. The court did choose to strike down Section 3, but it actually arguably strengthened Section 2, which says that states that don't have redefined marriage can maintain their marriage laws against states that have redefined marriage.
Indeed, the court has not established a constitutional right to same-sex marriage. Is this good news?
I think it's a hugely important point to be making. Gay marriage activists did not get what they wanted here. They came into this court saying that in both cases the court would establish a fundamental right to redefine marriage in our Constitution, and the court refused to do so. I think we're going to see in the future that has huge ramifications for the ability of pro-marriage people to defend marriage and state laws.
Thomas, I want to raise another point here. In the Proposition 8 decision, it appears that the voices of 7 million voters who wanted to ban gay marriage have been dismissed. Do you see it that way?
I agree with you. I think it's truly outrageous. I wrote a piece about this yesterday. It's absolutely extraordinary that the Supreme Court would rule that the very people who raised money to put a measure on the ballot, who fought hard to pass the ballot, aren't allowed to defend that law in court when an activist judge tries to strike it down. This has ramifications far beyond the marriage debate, and I think it reminds us that there's more at stake in the marriage debate than simply marriage. This is a fundamental pillar of our democracy, and I think it deserves more attention.
Now, we are being told by the president and others that gay marriage will not be forced on churches. But how will these rulings affect Christians who may disagree with gay marriage out in public?
Well, we have to start with this important point that President Obama has a very, very narrow view of religious freedom, which is not what our founding fathers guaranteed. By saying that you're not going to be forcing pastors to do a same-sex marriage, that implies that Christians only have their rights when they're within their church walls. Christians have the full First Amendment rights to stand for marriage in the public square, in their businesses, out in their communities, in their neighborhoods, in politics. And so I think it's a very dangerous thing to say, well, we're not going to come into your churches, we're just going to force you to keep your faith in them. That's wrong.
Mm-hmm. Real quickly, won't the debate eventually leave the state level again and head back to the Supreme Court, since gay activists argue they haven't achieved full equality?
Well, I think that the legal battle is not over by any means, and I think that these bad rulings the Supreme Court laid down yesterday will ultimately have to be revisited and overturned. So yes, that's part of our legal strategy moving forward.
I want to talk to you more about the media and gay activists real quickly here. The media and gay activists say this is all about equality and that anyone should be allowed to love whomever they want. Is this a valid argument?
Well, there's more involved in marriage than simply love. Government is not in the love business. I don't need the government to tell me who I love or who my best friend is or what my favorite flavor of ice cream is. Why government is involved in the marriage business is because marriage is that unique relationship which could result in a child, and that child deserves to have a mother and a father. And so arguments about equality and love, while interesting and important, as soon as you define the terms, you see that marriage actually values the equal contributions of mothers and fathers. It's as simple as that.
All right. Thomas Peters of the National Organization for Marriage, thank you so much for your time.
Efren Graham reporting for 18 Eyewitness News. Kirksville officials are expected to vote Monday on a proposal to create a Human Rights Commission to enact anti-discrimination protections based on several factors, including sexual orientation. The proposed ordinance would make it illegal to discriminate against someone for their sexual orientation and offer protections not present in state or federal laws. Monday's vote will cap months of effort by Missourians for Equality, a political action committee. On Wednesday, a federal search warrant was served at the Advanced Pain Center in Farmington, as well as other locations in Missouri. St. Louis Division Drug Enforcement Administration spokeswoman Karen Quito says not much information is available in the case.
There's not a lot of information I can give out at this point. It's an ongoing federal investigation, and so the U.S. Attorney's Office will be the first one to give a press statement, and once they begin releasing details, we can speak a little bit freer with exact details.
The Farmington Police Department assisted in the case Wednesday morning. There's no word on if there were any arrests made. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you any information and new details on KDKZ18.com and 18 Eyewitness News. Now, Dustin Kopp is here with a look at our first forecast. Dustin, what's on tap?
Good evening, Fred. Good evening, everybody. Temperatures across the area still on the warm side at this hour, 91 degrees or so here in southeast Missouri. Forecast for this evening, if you're heading out and about, we do have that chance of some isolated thunderstorms, 89 degrees at 7 p.m. By 9 p.m., about 83, and then 77 for your midnight temperature. How long will these thunderstorms last? I'll let you know coming up later in your Storm Tracker weather forecast.
And coming up on 18 Eyewitness News, a Wednesday afternoon accident sends a motorist to the hospital. That story and more when we return.
When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Archer Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Archer Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
You're watching 18 Eyewitness News with Fred Dawkins and Dustin Kopp. 18 Eyewitness News continues.
A two-car accident on Karsh Boulevard and Highway 32 in Farmington Wednesday afternoon sent one person to the hospital with minor injuries. A cause is not known in the accident. However, it caused some minor traffic delays for motorists traveling in the area. Missouri's next fiscal year will start next week. Approximately $24.7 billion will fund the state's critical departments and programs. Senate Appropriations Committee Chair Senator Kurt Schaefer of Columbia says they are able to secure more funding for education this year.
$66 million additional for K through 12, $34 million for higher ed. Plus, we did include some additional funding for line-level positions, both at the Department of Corrections and also at the Department of Mental Health.
Senator Scott Sifton of Afton, who also serves on the panel, adds actual state dollars only account for a portion of the total operating budget.
Is approximately a third of the state budget. Much of the rest is pass-through dollars of federal money. So we actually only have discretion over a portion of that entire amount.
Fiscal year 2014 will begin on July 1st. The IRS Tea Party targeting scandal is not dead just yet. The principal deputy commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service faced tough questions Thursday from the House Ways and Means Committee. It was Danny Werfel's third appearance before Congress since President Obama appointed him to lead the troubled agency in May. Werfel's appearance comes amid claims that the IRS also targeted progressive groups that sought tax-exempt status. Werfel had to explain his recent finding that there was no purposeful wrongdoing at the IRS and only mismanagement. Well, after a year of debate, the Ellisville City Council has approved tax breaks for a Walmart development. The council approved issuing $11 million in tax breaks for that project. The tax increment financing was approved in 2012, but Wednesday's vote allows the city to issue the bonds. Many Ellisville residents opposed the Walmart, saying it would drive down property values and increase crime and traffic. Supporters argued the project would create jobs. Up next on 18 Eyewitness News, summertime heat is here. How to stay safe and cool during the summer. 18 Eyewitness News will continue.
Years, Heartland Furniture and Appliance has been the leader in price for Restonic bedding. Whirlpool built Crosley appliances, Frigidaire appliances, sofa sets, recliners, accent furniture, and White's metal detectors. Same-day delivery with no waiting. We are fast becoming this area's leader in the home furnishing and appliance business. Need a little cash? Payday loans are available in each store. We'd love to have you come see us at one of our 3 locations on both sides of Main Street in Piedmont, Business 60 in Dexter, and next to Current River Ford in Donovan. Heartland Furniture and Appliance, 223-3200.
As I get ready to go into surgery, I remind myself what it's about. It's about God. It's about caring. It's about trust. It's about respect. It's about back pain. It's about neck pain. It's about questions. It's about answers. It's about people, not just patients. It's about you. It's about us. It is Heartland Spine. Changing lives, saving lives. That's what we do.
The summertime heat is on, and the risk of getting sick becomes higher. Farmington Fire Chief Todd Meese says that everyone is at risk.
Even above that high-risk group, people, it's even seasoned to the heat. When we start seeing the heat indices get 100 degrees or higher, everybody becomes at risk.
Todd gives our viewers some tips on keeping safe and cool during the hot months.
The biggest thing is, if you're not used to the heat, is work your way into it. Don't go out there and stay for a prolonged exposure, short periods, till your body becomes more acclimated. Hydration is the biggest factor. Making sure you're hydrated before you go out and remaining hydrated during your period out. And water, sports drinks, avoiding soda and especially alcoholic beverages as much as possible.
Todd mentions that if you feel sick because of the heat, don't hesitate to call for help. An Alaska man who eluded authorities for nearly a decade has been sentenced for sexually abusing a young girl back in the 1990s. 50-year-old Franklin Patrom of Juneau, Alaska, was sentenced to 13 years in prison after pleading guilty Tuesday to sodomy charges. Prosecutors say the abuse started back in 1992 when the victim was 9 and continued until 1996. When the girl reported the abuse in 2001, Patrom fled Springfield. He was arrested in 2003 in Alaska, but posted bond and fled again. He was arrested again in 2011 and transferred to Greene County to await trial. Patrom agreed to a plea deal that will require him to serve at least 85% of his sentence before he is eligible for parole. The Farmington High School Marching Band will be having a summer barbecue and car wash on Saturday. Band director Linda Huck tells 18 Eyewitness News what you can expect at the fundraiser.
We'll be having a car wash for donations, and the students will mostly be operating that venue. And then our adults are going to be barbecuing pork steaks, bratwurst, hamburgers with some side dishes, or you can have it as a sandwich.
Linda says that the cost for plates range from $6 for the pork steak plate, with prices lower for others. The fundraiser gets underway at 10:30 in the morning at the parking lot of the United Methodist Church on Karsh Boulevard. Fundraisers will help benefit the FSH Marching Band program. Celebrity chef Paula Deen says she is not a racist. That was during a tearful interview on NBC's Today Show on Wednesday. Deen has been plagued by controversy since admitting in a legal deposition that she's used racist language in the past. But she says she is not a racist. She defended herself in a tearful interview on NBC's Today Show.
I've had wonderful support, and I tell you what, if there's anyone out there that has never said something that they wish they could take back, if you're out there, please pick up that stone and throw it so hard in my head that it kills me. Please, I want to meet you.
Despite the backlash, she said she still had wonderful support. Her supporters include former Food Network star winner Aaron McCargo Jr., who is African American. He called her a friend on Facebook, saying Paula has always been very helpful and supportive throughout my career. We are all human, and we should never be quick to judge anyone. Author Anne Rice also came to Deen's defense. She wrote on Facebook, "Wow, this looks like crucifixion. I may be wrong, but aren't we becoming something of a lynch mob culture?" Walmart is the latest company to drop Paula Deen products.
More than 70% of the U.S. experience back or neck pain within our lifetime. For many, it goes away within 4 to 6 weeks, but some require more than just time. If you need help treating your back or neck pain, contact Dr. Frank Hayward at Heartland Spine Institute. Dr. Hayward is the area's expert in minimally invasive and laser spine surgery. Tiny incision, big results. Changing lives, saving lives. That's what we do.
Here is your Storm Tracker forecast.
And welcome back. Cloudy skies out there right now, and 91 degrees is our current temperature. Feels like 94 though, with current dew point 67, 45% humidity, and a northwest wind at 5 miles per hour. Throughout the area, we're seeing temperatures in the low 90s for most areas, and we're going to continue to be on the warm side this evening. State of Missouri temperatures look like this. We are seeing temperatures continue to be on the warm side. 96 in Columbia, down in Springfield 93, 94 in Kansas City, and 94 right now in St. Louis. So definitely on the warm side. Possible evening thunderstorms this evening. Friday's a little bit cooler, still on the warm side, but a little bit cooler, and possible weekend thunderstorms as well. All right, here's what our forecast looks like. We do have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms, especially off to the southwestern portion of Missouri. That may scoot our way for the weekend, but we're watching another system off to the west for the weekend as well, where we possibly see some thunderstorms here in southeast Missouri. Thunderstorms are possible this evening, 67 to 72 for your overnight low, light to variable winds. Then for tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, partly sunny, 88 to 92 with a northwest wind 5 to 10. Looking ahead the next several days, we will continue to see cool down in temperatures, definitely. Isolated thunderstorms on Saturday, 79 degrees. Another chance of isolated thunderstorms on Sunday, 78. 80 and partly sunny on Monday. Tuesday, 82, partly sunny. Another round of showers and thunderstorms on your Wednesday, 81. 84 and partly sunny on Thursday. Definitely a spring-like weather system instead of summer-like here in southeast Missouri. Don't forget to get the latest weather information at our website, KDKZ18.com.
I'm Stacy Johnson. Ready for a recipe that'll feed a family of 4 a feast for less than 15 bucks? See what's cooking just ahead on Money Talks News.
We all need to take responsibility in our lives and start thinking about how do we want to be treated at the end of our lives. I would definitely say Serenity Hospice Care is an expert in their field. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there's help a phone call away. If it were me and I was diagnosed with a terminal illness, absolutely, I would choose Serenity Hospice Care.
When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Armchair Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Armchair Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
It's true, we all want to get the most for our money, especially when it comes to food for our family. So how about a meal for a family of 4 for less than $15? This week's Frugal Family Feast features a fun and easy, tasty tater bite casserole.
I'm Stacy Johnson here with fabulous chef Ray De La Osa. He is the resident chef for Publix Aprons Cooking School. He's going to make us a feast that's going to feed a family of 4 for less than 15 bucks. What do you got for me today, chef?
I have a tater bite casserole.
Sounds great. What goes in it?
We start off with some tater bites. We have ground beef, a seasoning blend, cream of mushroom soup, cream of tomato soup, and some peas and carrots.
Sounds great, chef. Throw it together for me.
Well, we start by putting our tater bites into the oven.
My job. There they go. Then what?
Then we have some ground beef that's browning over here, and we added our seasoning blend.
Which is?
It's onions, celery, peppers, and a little bit of parsley.
Cool.
And then we go ahead and add our cream of tomato soup. We also add our cream of mushroom.
I guess this is going too?
That's going in as well, thank you very much. And we add our peas and carrots. And at this point, everything's done. We just mix it up real good. As soon as our tater bites are out of the oven, you can either serve everything separate or you can arrange the tater tots right on top.
And just because it's tater bites doesn't mean it's kids.
That's right. The whole family will enjoy this.
And it looks good in there. I've got it right here. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh my, that is really, really super good.
Isn't it awesome?
What does it cost?
It actually costs less than $15 to feed a family of 4.
Wonderful. And you know what you need now? The recipe. It's waiting for you right at MoneyTalksNews.com. Just do a search for Frugal Family Feast. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacy Johnson.
Stacy said he's got a lot of information and links at his website. To go there, just get to our website, KDKZ18.com, and click on the Money Talks link under the Lifestyles menu. Looking for something to do with all of those extra pool noodles? If so, our science guy Jason Lindsay with Hooked on Science shows you how to turn a pool noodle into a marble run.
You have a lot of these lying around the house, pool noodles. If so, grab one. Have an adult cut it in half by using a box cutter. Just slice right along the sides like that. Once you get all the way to the bottom and you have two pieces, attach it to the wall like Ethan and I did here in the Hooked on Science lab by using Velcro. Ethan, take a marble. I want you to start over there. And what's going to happen is as soon as Ethan lets it go, gravity takes over, pulls it down, and shoots it across the wall here. It's a pretty awesome science experiment. Now remember, when you're building this, you can't make this hill here higher than the first hill because you have to get enough potential energy to shoot it across this one, and usually if this one's higher than that one, it's not going to work. Try to get Ethan, put a few more in there. If you're just joining us, we're creating the pool noodle marble run. Learn more at hookedonscience.org.
Go to KDKZ18.com and click on Hooked on Science under the Lifestyles menu for this experiment and others that might get you and your entire family hooked on science.
For 15 years, Heartland Furniture and Appliance has been the leader in price for Restonic bedding. Whirlpool built Crossley appliances, Frigidaire appliances, sofa sets, recliners, accent furniture, and White's metal detectors. Same-day delivery with no waiting. We are fast becoming this area's leader in the home furnishing and appliance business. Need a little cash? Payday loans are available in each store. We'd love to have you come see us at one of our 3 locations on both sides of Main Street in Piedmont, Business 60 in Dexter, and next to Current River Ford in Donovan. Heartland Furniture and Appliance, 223-3200.
This is Sports Zone.
Cardinals starter Lance Lynn has denied his 11th win of the season as the Houston Astros scored 4 runs in the 4th inning and hold on for a 4-3 win Wednesday night over the Redbirds. Lynn allowed 5 hits, walked 4, and struck out 4 over 7.2 innings for his first loss in 4 career starts in Houston. Yadier Molina and Alan Craig homered for the Cardinals, who finished with 7 hits off Astros starter Eric Bedard, but the team went 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Royals left fielder Alex Gordon started the game with home runs, but more importantly ended Wednesday night's game with a shallow single to left to score David Loff in the 10th inning as the Royals beat the Atlanta Braves 4-3. The Blues and defenseman Kevin Shattenkirk have agreed to terms on a 4-year contract extension. Shattenkirk played in all 48 games in 2012-2013, ranking second among Blues defensemen with 23 points. During the Stanley Cup playoffs, he tied for the lead among Blues defensemen with 2 points in 6 games. He would have been a restricted free agent had he not been re-signed by July 5th. And that's Today in Sports.
Looks like we're going to have on and off weather for the weekend, sunshine and then possibly some thunderstorms. We'll keep you posted right here on KDKZ Channel 18 and any of the Dawkins radio stations in the area.
When you see news happening in your area, let us know about it. You can call our news department at 573-701-9590 or email us at news@DawkinsBroadcastGroup.com.